How's it going, everybody? Scott Games 99 here, and I'm doing a little bit of an update video. It is long overdue. Uh, I do have a new webcam set up. That's something new to the channel, but I probably won't be looking directly at it. So, I apologize. I'm actually just staring at myself. Um, but yeah, I've been meaning to do an update video for quite a while. Um, there's actually been a lot going on. I don't even really know how long it's actually been since I last uploaded a video. I can actually look quick here a second if you don't mind. Um, take like 2 seconds. Probably should have done this before I started the video, but you live and learn, I guess. Um, let's see, there we are. 8 months. It has been 8 months since I last uploaded a video to the channel. I wasn't planning on taking that long of a break. I did want to take a break just because I had lost the desire, I guess, to make videos. And I was getting into my head a lot about, oh, well, not that many people are watching, and I need all these people to watch. And I was just I was just really getting into my head about stuff like that, and I still do a little bit. Um, like I see that obviously I haven't uploaded in 8 months, so my views aren't gonna be out the door exciting or whatever I'm trying to say. But yeah, even then I look at it sometimes and I'm like, man, people aren't watching my videos, but I haven't uploaded in 8 months, so it's not surprising that the views are down. But uh but yeah, so I figured I'd do a little bit of an update and just explain what has gone on since my last upload 8 months ago. So just a little heads up warning, I guess. It does get kind of intense, for lack of better terms, I guess. Um, involves a lot of mental health stuff. Um, but yeah, so uh like I said, when I did first decide to take a break, it was only going to be for like a month or two. And then of course that month or two turned into another month or two, and eventually it led to where we are now, where it's been 8 months, which doesn't seem possible. Um, but yeah, so at the start of the year, in January, I started off really well, and then all of a sudden, in I don't know, like this second week of January, if I remember right, um, all of a sudden, just everything went downhill. I didn't care about my job. I didn't care about like my house. I didn't care about anything. I just had no care for anything. Just whatever happened, happened. I didn't care. I just assumed the worst of everything. And basically, what it really was I just didn't care if I was here or not. And so I never had like the mindset that I wanted to do anything to like harm myself in any way. But there it was like kind of I was, because every night when I'd go to sleep, I'd just lay there and I'd just be like, "Oh, I just hope I don't wake up in the morning. I would hope for nothing more than to just not wake up. And I was just getting worse and worse. And then I'd go to work and I'd have no ambition to do anything. I wouldn't want to be there. And so I was just doing my job, not even half effort for anything. I was just, well, whatever. If something looked bad, I was just like, whatever. And, and then it just kept getting worse and worse. So eventually I don't know, I wasn't able to keep it under wraps, I guess. Um, because I'm the type of person who would rather listen to people talk about themselves and how they're doing and what they're going through and try and help them. Uh I don't like talking about myself at all. I would rather avoid that at all costs just because it makes me feel um not selfish, I guess. It just makes me feel weird. Um don't mind my dog. But it just makes me feel uncomfortable, I guess is the word, talking about just myself. So I never would. Like every now and then if somebody asks like, "Hey, how you doing?" then I'd tell them, "Oh, I'm all right." But eventually it just got to the point where like I couldn't tell myself that, "Oh, it's all right. Just make it through the day." And so eventually it got to the point where my mom and my sister had to step in and they took me over to um, uh, behavior. I'm going to sound like an idiot trying to say this behavioral, however you pronounce it, health clinic. Um, and I actually, it took a lot. I had to hear a lot of stuff that I didn't want to hear. Um, but eventually I decided that what was best for me was to admit myself into the mental health like part of the hospital. And that was honestly just going in there alone was a big like wake up call for me, and understanding that, wow, what I think is a big deal really isn't. Because when I got there, obviously had to tell my mom and my sister goodbye and they left. And then I had to go and I had to like, they had to like do all these scans and whatever. And like they literally, I assume it's the same like in every hospital when you get checked in, especially like mental health wise. They wanted to check and make sure I didn't have like anything hidden on me, just in case I was gonna hurt myself or anything. So I had to strip down and I had to like squat and cough and all this stuff. And at the time, I felt very like, I don't know, like I felt like I was being treated like treated wrong. But as I said, I feel like that's just a general thing, just to make sure you're not hiding anything on you or anything like that. Um, so now I'm just like, well, whatever. That's just part of what they have to do, for their safety and the safety of the other people. Um, but at the time, I was like, wow, this is very. I don't like this. Um, and then when I was there, it at first it felt very overwhelming, obviously, and then I started to realize that even though like I've never been in prison or jail or anything, so I don't know exactly what it's like, but it felt like kind of like a prison or a jail, just actually meant to help you, not to like keep you just incarcerated or whatever. But yeah, so it was like after a certain time you had to be in your room. You couldn't come out until a certain time in the morning. Um, they had a TV there, but all they played were like animal documentaries, which it's probably for to like low stimulating stuff or something, I would assume. Um, but yeah, they were all nice. I don't have any excuse me, I don't have any issues with like the people there or anything like that. All the nurses and everybody were very helpful, and um so yeah, it was very like a big shock. And um I actually I was supposed to be there for, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 5 days, I think they told me. But since obviously I had checked myself in, I was able to check myself out whenever I wanted. So that first night I was there, I slept for a little bit. They gave me some medicine to help me fall asleep, because that was another thing. My sleep had really dwindled. I was lucky if I even got an hour of sleep most nights. And that was even if I took like what is it, melatonin or whatever, or like, slept without my TV on, slept with my TV on but no volume on. Uh had like tea before I went to bed, or just I tried all the things and none of it was working. So they gave me medicine to help me sleep, and it helped a little bit, but I just think my adrenaline was so like gung ho that it just kind of worked but didn't work as long as it should have, because I fell asleep for maybe an hour or two and then I was up the entire time. And like I said, you weren't allowed to leave your room until a certain time in the morning, so I literally was just laying there. So I had a lot of time to think, and I thought about just like the experience going in, and I was like, this isn't where I'm going to be comfortable. Like, and I know sometimes in order to like really understand things, you have to be uncomfortable. And so I told myself, I was like, I don't want to be here. This isn't where I'm going to learn to get better. Um, but I was like, obviously, I need where I was. It was like almost 2 hours away from my house. So obviously, I couldn't just be like, all right, I'm out of here, and walk home. I had to wait for somebody to come get me. Well, with how bad I was, I was gonna if I wanted somebody to come get me, I was gonna have to explain like my point across very well, because I knew my mom or my dad or my sister weren't gonna come get me unless I really made them understand that I know what I need to do to get myself better. And so I laid there thinking about, well, what is truly bothering me? What is really going on? And so I laid there for, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours just waiting. Because I wanted to write down all my thoughts, and I wanted to write down just the stuff that was just going through my head. I think I just said that twice. Anyway, um, so yeah, I was just wondering like, well, why am I thinking this way about this, but not the same way about these things, or just trying to find like the main cause of it. And so eventually we were allowed to come out of our rooms, and I just spent basically all my free time just writing down stuff. Um and then when I was able to, I called my mom, and I had told her, I was like, I understand now. I know I've only been here for technically a few hours, but I truly understand like what I need to do. It was just that big of like a shock to the system, I guess. Um that helped me realize, like, hey, your issues aren't really as bad as like you think they are. Um but when I had called my mom, she's like, "Well, if I come get you, are you just going to go home and sit around and do nothing like you were doing and just go back to that state of just not caring?" And I told her, I was like, "No, I'm going to talk to the doctors and the nurses and whoever I need to here to get myself into a therapist and just get myself back on the right track." And after a little bit, my mom could tell that something was different. Um, so her and my dad came and got me, but obviously, since I said they're like 2 hours, like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, something like that. Um, she was like, "Well, I don't want you to just sit in your room." She's like, "If they have classes or anything there that help you with stuff, I want you to do it." And I was like, "You got it." Because I was going to anyway, because I figured if I'm there, just sitting around, and even though writing down stuff was helping, I still knew that I needed to like go to these classes. And so I went to these classes, and they really helped too with telling me how to deal with like my negative thoughts, and how to not necessarily um turn them into positives, but to understand that like the negative feelings and emotions, they're there for a reason. They're not necessarily there to just uh put you down. They're there to help you try and learn from certain things, because I was taught that, well, not necessarily taught, but from what I took from it, it was that the reason you get negative thoughts is to kind of help you um, think more clearly on it. Because if you go into a situation with nothing but like positivity and whatever, then you may overlook some of the more grounded in reality aspects of something. So negativity is kind of there to kind of keep you balanced. But obviously, you're just supposed to use it as a little bit of like a like, I don't know, balancing factor. Um, because obviously, what I was doing was I would hear the one negative thing about um all the stuff that was all this positive stuff. But instead of fixating on the positive stuff and hearing the negative, I would just fixate on that one negative thing, ignore all the positives, and then that one negative thing would turn into another negative thing. And then that other negative thing would turn into two or three more negative things. And then eventually it would just be, oh, well, now the negative things I'm fixating on aren't even related to the original thing. Now, I don't know if any of what I'm saying makes any sense whatsoever. I'm kind of just rambling. Um, but But yeah, so the classes really helped me understand how to like go through things and be like, okay, well, this is feeling weird. I don't like this. How can I go about understanding that feeling and turning it back into something that I can help me get through the day at least. And that was just another thing I learned is that sometimes it's okay if you're just like the best part of the day is just making it to the end of like your work shift or getting to lunch hour or something like that. Just you gotta pick little victories. Is something I learned. Um, because obviously if you're just throwing um I don't know, if you're throwing a big mountain of food in front of you, it's going to be a tougher challenge to get through it than a plate that has a small amount on it, if that makes any sense. Um, you just got to give yourself little things to work towards every day. And then also, um, like it's very helpful if you give yourself something to look forward to at the end of a week. Um, so sometimes it could be like, oh, if you like cleaning or something, then you could be like, oh, at the end of the week, I'm gonna spend a few hours cleaning this part of my house or cleaning out my car or something like that. So, and obviously, like to somebody who um is like good with their mental health and whatever, this stuff probably is like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, obviously you think about things that are good and you give yourself little goals and all this stuff. But where I was at, it literally just didn't even seem possible. Like, oh, well, little positives, that's not even possible. Everything's just negative. Because I would take something like, oh, at the end of the week, I'm going to clean my house and turn that into, oh, well, when I clean my house, then I'm going to find this is wrong, and then I'm going to find that this is wrong, and then these things that are excuse me, these things that are wrong are going to lead to this big thing being wrong. And so I wouldn't be able to think of anything positive. Um and I was constantly in a state of, well, I'm just a burden on everybody. Um and so yeah, just even the short time I was in the hospital, um it really opened my eyes, and especially with the other patients that were there. In the classes, they would talk about some of the stuff that they were going through. um they couldn't like get into specifics just because we weren't supposed to do that, just for like safety things, I guess. But like just listening to some of the things that they were talking about, like they have gone through and stuff, I just realized, I was like, yes, my issues are important as well. But I was like, I'm taking a spot from I felt like I was taking a spot in the hospital from somebody who needed it more than me, if that makes sense. Like just some of the things they were talking about, I was like, my problems aren't anything compared to the stuff that they've gone through. And I was like, I know, it was just something about it where I was like, I know my issues aren't as big of a deal as they are. I'm just making them to seem worse than they are, if that makes sense. Um, and I realized, I was like, I know I'm stronger than these negative thoughts and all this other nonsense that's just going in my head. Um, so I told myself I'm going to get into therapy. I'm going to keep journaling because that was a big help for me, just journaling. And I need to find things that can help me focus on the positives rather than just constantly thinking about, well, this is wrong, so this is wrong, and then these are wrong, so all of this is wrong, and just stuff like that. Um, so I wasn't in the hospital for too terribly long, only there technically for a few hours, in the grand scheme of things, but it was enough to help me realize that life actually is very good. Like, it sucks a lot of the time, but it is very rewarding to be able to wake up every day and just be able to have the ability to go to work, because there are a lot of people who don't have the ability to go to work and they'd like for nothing more than to be able to go to work. So it took a little bit of a culture shock to finally get me back um to where I needed to be, and I'm very happy with where I'm at and the progress that I have made since uh the middle of January. um Obviously there are still a few days where I'm just like, what's the point? What's the point in this? I don't want to do this. I'd rather do this, but I feel like that's just general life. So, yeah, I'm doing better, a lot better than I was. And so as part of my like recovery and trying to figure out what are good ways for me to deal with my like coping mechanisms, I guess, I realized that there are things I need to keep myself busy, like my hands busy. Um because if I'm not playing a game or something that can just keep my mind off of things, like if I'm just sitting, then that is when like I start to let those negative thoughts take control over everything. So I need to be doing something. I need to constantly be like, need to be focusing on something. I need to be um like I need to be, my mind needs to be focusing on something. And so I thought and I suppose I should add this. Um Before January even happened, I had told myself, I was like, the YouTube channel, I'm done with it. I don't want anything else to do with it anymore. I gave it a good shot. Nothing came of it. I did get a fair amount of subscribers from it, and that's cool, and that was a very big accomplishment. But I have no desire for it anymore. I don't want to do it, and it's just too much of a hassle. So I was fully prepared to just be done with it. And after my stint in the hospital and everything, I realized that there still was a little bit of a passion for making videos, even though like my video making isn't like anything super in depth. It's literally basically just cut and delete footage and stuff like that. It's not like adding in special effects or adding in transitions or it's not high end editing. It's very basic editing. Um Even still, I still had a little bit of a passion for it. And so I thought about it after I got out of the hospital, and I was like, you know what? I really do want to get back into it. And I don't necessarily know quite yet. I'm still on the fence about what I should do. So if you have any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. I've been thinking about whether I should just go back to video making, and just do longer videos, almost like their live streams, but not. Um, just so that way you can have something on in the background to listen to or something to play while you go to sleep or whatever. Um, or if I should just actually live stream. Um, and my only reluctance with live streaming is that I don't know if I'd be that entertaining actually live. But also with live streaming, I feel like it would be a lot easier for me to do it, because then I could just record those live streams and just upload them after the fact. Um, Kind of like DanQ8000. He's been, I don't know him personally, but I would consider him a buddy of mine. Um, he knows who I am if he hears the name Ezra and then my last name. I don't really know if I should say my last name on this video, but he knows who I am when I show up in chat, and I've messaged him, and we've talked back and forth every so often. Um, Outside of his streams. But yeah, when he started his YouTube channel, he was just doing videos. And then eventually he transitioned into just live streaming and just leaving the VODs up for everybody to watch. So I was thinking maybe I could do something of the same. Um, but I'm not sure whether I should just stick to the videos or if I should do live streaming. If I did live streaming, it at the moment it would probably only be Friday nights and Saturday nights, and maybe sometimes Sunday nights, just because with my work schedule, if I started live streaming after I got home from work, then I would only be able to stream for like an hour or two before I'd have to like eat and then go to bed and stuff. So it would probably only be Fridays and Saturdays, maybe some Sunday nights. Um, so it wouldn't be like a 5 day a week thing, at least not right now. Um, so yeah, if that would be something you're interested in, then let me know. But yeah, I've been rambling for almost 35 minutes. I do want to say a big thank you to my good buddy Jay. I will link his channel. I'll put one of the things that I think will pop up on this side of the video. Um, and I'll also put it down in the description as well. Jay is a good buddy of mine. I've been talking to him on Discord about just anything and everything, and uh, I'm a proud member on his channel. He makes some good variety content. Um, I guess that's how I would describe his channel. Yeah, variety content. He makes a lot of superhero video game stuff, and he just put out a video not too long ago, so go check that out. And I'm trying to think anything else. I don't know. I feel like I discussed everything I wanted to. Um yeah. Uh I think I have. So, if there's any questions you have for me, I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Um Definitely go make sure to check out Jay. I believe it's J underscore. I just call it Jay underscore, I believe. Like I said, I'll link it in the description, and I'll have one of those things up here in the corner of the video. Also go check out DanQ8000. He's probably, I think he's the longest person I've been subscribed to on YouTube. I've been subscribed to him since I was like 11 or 12. So, it's been a while. But yeah, also let me know what you think I should do, whether it should be just go back to videos like I was doing, or do live streaming, or maybe a bit of both. I don't know. Um I'm not sure really what to do. I've been procrastinating with this video so much, and then also I can't figure out what I want to do for the channel, but I do know I still want to do something with this channel. And I can't figure out what it is I want to do yet. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you have any questions, if you want me to just do videos like normal, or if you want me to start live streaming. Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. So to those of you who listened to me ramble, I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully it wasn't too much. I tried not to get like too in depth with like the mental health like issues I was going through. Um in regards to like my thoughts of just wishing I could go to sleep and not wake up. That's what I mean. Obviously I tried to go in depth with like my experience and stuff, if that makes sense. Anyway, uh yeah, I apologize if me not looking at the camera bothers people. I didn't want to stare up like this the whole time. So also don't mind my dog cleaning himself and taking a nap. Um yeah, for like the fifth time now. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, to those of you who watch and listen. Um, I apologize for all the dog and cat hair and everything on my mic, but now I'm just starting to like procrastinate. But yeah, hopefully this video explains where I was for 8 months, and yeah, just thanks for sticking around, to those of you who have. Um, and hopefully I will see you again soon. So thank you guys once again so much for watching, and till next time, take care.